Good morning, children. Already we have started the theories of origin of life, and we have discussed about the spatial creation. We have discussed about the spontaneous generation, biogenesis, extraterrestrial or cosmic origin, and the last one, which has been accepted by most of the scientists, that is called the chemical evolution of life. This idea was developed by Oparin Halden in 1929. They proposed that with the conditions prevailing on Earth, whatever condition was there on the Earth, life arose by a series of sequential chemical reactions. By chemical reaction, inorganic substances are combined to form the organic substances, and those organic substances have given the origin of life. So, whatever the conditions prevailing on Earth, life arose by a series of sequential chemical reactions. What is that chemical reaction? The first form of life could have come from pre-existing, non-living or inorganic molecules, which gave rise to, just now I told, diverse organic molecules, which are transformed into colloid system. Colloid means in the water, those organic molecules in suspended condition to produce the life. Colloid solution you have studied in chemistry. The modern concept on chemical evolution regarding origin of life was accepted. So this theory, one more question may come, which theory of origin of life had been accepted nowadays? That is the chemical evolution of life. Now next part we are going to discuss the evidences of evolution. I told that from past, whatever proof we have got, so that it is easy for us as a human being how it had been originated. So many proofs are there. That's why we are saying that human being came from some other animals. That we'll be discussing one by one. So evolution can be better understood only by observing the interrelationship between the existing organisms and also relating similarities with extinct. Extinct means those have been vanished, not present at all. They had been destroyed. They had been vanished from this. They have been died. The interrelationship of the organisms is also supported by evidences from different branches of biology. Evidences, proof is there. These evidences support the concept that all organisms have evolved from common ancestors. So life came on this earth, only one type of organism. From there diversification has taken. Diversification, different lines evolution have taken place. So some of the evidences are proving that the life, different forms of life or all organisms have evolved from common ancestors. What are the evidences? The three evidences we will be discussing. One is called evidences from morphology and anatomy. Second evidence is called evidences from embryology. And third one, evidences from paleontology. So one by one we will be discussing. Evidences from morphology and anatomy. Comparative study of morphology means, we know morphology means outer features by looking from outside. Anatomy means internal structures of animals reveal that they possess the common set of characteristics. Here two terms we will be discussing. One is called homologous organ, another one is called analogous organ. Very easy. Homologous organs are the organs which have inherited from common ancestor with similar development. So homologous organs are those which have similar developmental pattern in embryos. This is from here you have to start which have till here, which have, then here. Similar developmental pattern in embryos. With example we will be discussing. The four limbs of mammals are homologous structures. Structurally they are same. Developmental pattern is similar, but the function is different. I will give an example. Example is the four limbs of mammals are homologous organs. Example, human hand, front leg of a cat, flipper of a whale, and bat's wing look dissimilar and adapted for different functions. Their mode of development and basic structure of bone are similar. Here it has been given human hand. You can see horse forelimb, a cat's forelimb. This is called a whale's flipper, and this is the bat's wings. All are mammals. All are mammals, not human being. All are mammals. A human being coming under mammals. So if you see the structurally, all are same, but the function human hand for certain functions, cat forelimbs for certain functions, whale's flipper for swimming, bat's forelimbs for flying. Though they are structurally same, development is same, but functionally they are different from each other. That's why these types of organs are called the homologous organs. So mode of development and basic structure of the bones are similar, but functions are different. These organs are called the homologous organ. Analogous organ, just opposite what we will be saying. Analogous organs look similar and perform similar functions, but they have different origin and developmental patterns. That means they are different, look similar, but actually they are not similar, different in development, but function is same. Development is different, functions are same. With example we will discuss. Here has been given, this is bat's wing, this is bird's wing, this is insect's wing. Insect's wing, they are not similar like that of the bird's wing or bat's wing. They are different structurally and development also, but function is same. Bat's wing also helping to fly, bird's wing also helping to fly, and insect's wing also helping to fly. These organs are called the analogous organs. So the function of the wings of bat, wings of bird, wings of insects are similar, but the basic structures are different. This is the important thing. Similar in structure, but the functions are same. Functions of the wings are similar, but structures are different. Those organs are called the analogous organ. Now next one we will be discussing, that is called vestigial organ. Vestigial means very, very small, about to vanish. Degenerated or non-functional organs of animals are called the non-functional. Though it is there in our body, it is not used. That is called degenerated non-functional organs of animals are called the vestigial organs. The same organs are found to be well developed and functional in some other related forms. Some of the vestigial organs in man are appendix. One more question. Nictitating membrane in our eyes, caudal vertebra, vertebral column, and coccyx. These are the vestigial organs in our body. Next one, atavism. Again 2 marks question. What do you mean by atavism? What do you mean by vestigial organ? Atavism, reappearance of ancestral characters in some individuals is called the atavism. Suppose one character your grandfather is having, and that is not there with your daddy, but again you have got. That means from your grandfather it has been reappeared to you, to the generous individuals. That phenomenon is called the atavism. Presence of rudimentary tail in newborn babies, presence of thick hair on the human body. These are the few examples of atavism. Okay, thank you children.